The company makes a profit of rupees 8,000 on each piece of model A and rupees 12,000 on each piece of model B. Formulate as LPP. Okay. Now, as I already said, this is a statement problem, and we are supposed to convert into linear programming model, which basically has 4 important steps. Number 1, decision variable. Number 2, objective function. Number 3, constraints. And number 4, it is called as non-negative restrictions. So we are supposed to convert into these 4 levels. So before we convert into these 4 levels, first let us write down what is the summary of data. I insist everyone to write down the summary of data first, so that you'll have clarity about how to solve the problem further. It may not be necessary to write down this table for all the questions, but in case if you're able to write down, I think the way you solve the problem becomes more easier. That's the very purpose. We write the table first, and then we'll come to the formulation. Okay. Now let us just try to understand the summary of this problem. The company is very clearly saying that there are basically 2 types of models they are talking about. So which are the 2 types of products we have here? So in this particular problem, there are 2 types of product. One is product A and other is product B. So these are the 2 types of products they manufacture. Okay. Yeah. Each piece of model A requires 9 hours for fabricating and 1 hour for finishing. Every product of A and B is actually undergoing 2 different types of processing. So which are the 2 processing happening here? One is called as fabricating. Fabrication is one thing, and second one is called as finishing. So fabrication and finishing are the 2 important processes that is happening for each product. They've given that model A requires 9 labor hours for fabricating. So product A requires totally how much time? 9 hours for fabrication. And similarly, 1 labor hour for finishing. So they require 1 labor hour for finishing. Okay. So this is the data as far as product A is concerned. So product A manufacturer manake 2 different mechanisms are applied. One is called as fabrication and other is finishing. For fabrication, it is taking 9 hours time, and for finishing, it is taking 1 hour time. Similarly, they have given what is the time taken by the product B as well. So product B is still at the so the model B requires 12 hours labor time for fabricating. So fabricating requires 12 hours. And what is the second part of the data? And they're saying that 3 hours for finishing. So 3 hours for finishing. Okay, now you can see from this table very clearly for product B, it is taking 12 hours of fabrication time and 3 hours of finishing time is required. Now, you know that for fabricating and finishing, the maximum labor time available are 180 and 30 respectively. So the total fabrication time available with the company, as far as fabrication is concerned, it is 180 hours, and the total labor time available for finishing is 30 hours. 30 hours available. And they've given that the company makes a profit of 8,000 on product A and 12,000 on model B. Then that is the last data. So the profit is also given here. For model A, they're making a profit of how much here? 8,000 rupees. And for model B, they're making a profit of 12,000 rupees. Okay. So this entire question is now reduced to one simple table. Okay. The benefit of writing the value in this table format, none of the values is missed out, and you'll have more clarity in writing the answers. Okay. Now my simple question to the class is, have you all understood this table now? How I've just written the values from the statement problem? Any questions or any doubts in this table? Yes or no?
No, sir.
I think it's very simple question. They have just very clearly mentioned that there are 2 products here, and each product is actually undergoing 2 different types of processes. One is called the fabrication process, and another one is called as finishing process. They've given what is the time required for fabrication and finishing for each of the product, and also they've stated what is the maximum availability of fabrication time and the maximum availability of finishing time. And finally, the profits for each product A and B is separately given to you. Now with this data, I am supposed to formulate this problem as linear programming problem. Okay. Now let's start the problem. This is of course not a part of the solution. We are writing this table to make our job convenient. Linear programming problem only as such, there is no requirement for writing this table. We can straight away start with the 4 methods or 4 steps. but we write it so as to make our job easier. Because once you have this table ready, then writing the formulation becomes very simple. That's the reason why we are writing this. Otherwise, it's not a part of answer actually. Okay. Now let's start with the first step. If you look at the 4 components of the linear programming problem, the first component of linear programming problem is called as decision variables. We call it as decision variables. So we are supposed to clearly define what are the decision variables in this problem. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Idea problem only. In this entire problem, can anybody please tell me what is the objective or what is the essence of this problem here? With what intention this problem is structured? Can anybody please tell me what is the final outcome that we are expecting this question? Hello? Can anybody please think about an answer about it?
So
What is the positive?
So to reduce the making time, sir, and which will in turn reduce the cost.
Okay. Okay, that could be one approach. Yes. Any other way of looking at this question? Any other insights?
So, like using this data to allocate in a proper way, like maybe the ideal possible way, so that it becomes minimal cost and minimal time, like Rajat said.
Okay.
Allocating the resources in an ideal way.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think with these 2 answers, anyway, very good. Probably you have helped me to actually introduce a very important concept to the class. Yeah. What is the concept which I'm planning to introduce now? I want everyone to please go back to your learnings as far as the case study is concerned. Normally, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು case study analyze ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, in any subject for that matter, usually teachers tell you one very important, what do you say, disclaimer or probably a prerequisite is, please don't assume anything which is beyond the scope of the case. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕೇಸ್ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ the first rule of the game ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, we are not supposed to assume anything which is not within the factual limits of the case. That is the primary requirement or a primary disclaimer which normally all case study analysts would do it. Okay. The same principle I would like to bring it to LPP also, because LPP is also a type of case study. Idu kuda one case study ne, but more consigned or precise to operation research concept. Okay. Now, from the 2 answers what I've just received, one thing I want to make it very clear to you here is, in any linear programming problem, when we are trying to analyze the question, we are not supposed to assume, presume, or consider anything which is beyond the scope or beyond the data of that particular problem. That is the first important thing that everyone should learn and understand here. ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಡೇಟಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆ ಡೇಟಾನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು we are not supposed to go beyond the framework of the data. So all my analysis, all my formulation has to be confined within the scope of the data. This is the first thing that everyone should understand. Okay. So from the answers what these 2 people have given, I think with the purview of the data, there was absolutely no scope for that. Now ಇಲ್ಲಿ allocation ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, and we are not even talking about reduction of cost. We are not even talking about how we can reduce the fabrication or finishing time. So all this is absolutely not within the scope of the case. Okay. Anyway, that's perfectly fine with the first question. I appreciate that you try to visualize the problem from all other perspectives. But as far as linear program is concerned, the first and foremost requirement is your assessment should be only within the scope of the data. The first thing. Okay. So before I talk about decision variable, I want to give you a very important logical background for all linear programming problems. I think with that, all other questions become easier. First, all linear programming problems we normally classify into 2 types. This is a very important step in LPP. I want everyone to please understand this very carefully. All linear programming problems can be classified into 2 varieties. So which are the 2 varieties? The first one is called as maximization case. Okay. First one is maximization case, and the second variety is called as minimization case. So these are the 2 varieties of questions we have as far as linear programming is concerned. Andre, ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು linear programming problem ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ The moment you have a question on linear programming problem, the first thing that you are supposed to understand is, first you should know whether the given question belongs to maximization case or minimization case. Idana first ನೀವು classify ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Okay, this is very important. And after that, we can talk about decision variable, objective, and all that. The moment the question is there in front of you, after going through the data, decide whether it is maximization case problem or minimization case problem. Okay, that's the first part. Now the next question is, how do I classify or how do I know that the given problem is maximization or minimization? That's the next question. Okay, again for this, the required data or the given data becomes the basis. Illu kuda navu yavade reetiyadanta assumption madagiಲ್ಲ. We are not supposed to make any assumptions here. I am supposed to decide whether the given question is maximization or minimization purely on the basis of the given data. Namge iva data ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. I want everyone to please look at the board and particularly the table which is there and tell me what are the different types of data given in this question. Can anybody please tell me which are the different types of data given here? ಏನೇನ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ? Hello?
Fabrication and finishing, sir.
No, I just want to give, I will know what are the different types of data given in this question. ಏನೇನ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ.
So like time taken and the profit of model A and model B.
Yeah. There are only 3 types of data given in this question. ಮೂರೇ data ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋದು. Data 1, the time taken for fabrication. Data 2, the time taken for finishing. And data 3, what is the profit on model A and model B. ಮೂರೇ data ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋದು. So using this 3 data, I should decide whether it is maximization or minimization. Okay?
Sir, I think it's maximization, sir.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll come back to that. Yeah. ಈಗ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Now the question is, you need to understand which are the specific instances where the company tries to maximize. Can anybody give me an example where the company wants to increase certain things? ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಕಂಪನಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾರೆ? Can anybody tell me that the company will be interested to maximize their loss? Loss na ಯಾರು maximize ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾರಾ?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No company on this entire planet will ever think of maximizing the loss. Obviously, they always try to minimize the loss. Now, I have to understand very clearly certain concepts or certain specific sections where company will definitely go for a natural choice of maximization. So, yeah, the natural choice of maximization, I think the first and foremost thing is profit. The moment we talk about profit, I think no company in the world will ever say that I want to have minimum profit. Yaru minimum profit anta helalla. Obviously, the profits are definitely under the category of maximization. Okay, one example. Can anybody please tell me which are the other examples that we can relate as far as maximization is concerned?
Production, maximizing product.
Very good. Production. Whenever you want to increase volume of production, they want to increase. Very good. Number 2, I thought. Next, any other examples? Number 1, profit. Number 2, production capacity or production as a whole. Yeah. Any other areas where companies would like to maximize?
Sales, sir.
Sales. Very good. So sales is the third thing which company would like to increase or enhance. Very good. Then any other example? Just think of it. We come across so many such economic concepts, right? So which are the areas where company wants to increase? ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ increase ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾರೆ? 1 is profit, number 2 productivity, and number 3 sales. 3 examples we have got. Any other examples you can think of at this point in time?
Sir, quantitative or qualitative, sir?
I mean, it is always better if you take examples of quantitative, which can be expressed in numbers. But few examples also can be related, like for example, goodwill. Like goodwill is something that cannot be expressed in numbers, right? It's a qualitative assessment, but still companies would like to enhance their goodwill. Atara tagolbodu, but let's not get into very micro level classifications here. On a broader perspective.
So like recovery of debt in banks and those.
Now atara will not try to take examples industry specific examples bada general agi. Generally, like profit is general, production is general, sales is general. Aa tara general terms we'll discuss. Okay, can we say revenue is an example?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Revenue is the fourth example which companies would definitely think of maximizing. So now we have 4 examples: profit, productivity, sales, and revenue. So any other thing that company can really think of increasing? Just think. I think you should be.
Customers.
Sorry, come again. Hello.
Customers.
Okay, yeah, they want to increase definitely the number of customers or increase their customer base. Okay, good. Customer base maximization. Very nice. Yeah. Any other examples? Market share. The companies would definitely increase or would plan to increase their market share. So market share is the other example. Okay. So I think this is more or less a general topic. So totally 6 examples we took now. Profit, then we talk about production, then we talk about sales, then revenue, market share, and of course the final was, what is the other example which we took? A customer base. Yeah, these are the common examples or common areas where the company should definitely go for maximization. Now, similarly, there are specific areas where the companies want to minimize as well. Okay. Now, can we think about some of the examples where the companies want to minimize? Can you please give me some examples for minimization now?
Expenses.
I think the first and foremost is loss. Loss is something which everybody want to keep it at a bay or keep it at lower. So loss is one thing which is an example for minimization. Very good. Loss is first example. Number 2.
Wastage, sir. Wastage.
Wastage. Very good. Wastage reduction. Very good. Very good example. Yes.
So company.
Sorry. One at a time, please.
Cost.
Cost. Very good. Cost is the area where they would definitely would like to minimize. Number 1, loss.
To minimize the,
yeah. Hello.
so hello.
Yeah. Tell me.
So to minimize the hours or time taken.
I mean, your voice is breaking. Can you please tell me?
So
Yeah, I
minimize
think
the hours taken, she is telling, sir.
Okay, minimize the hours. So this is basically about the production time you're trying to say. Yeah, it's okay. Or basically we call it as labor time reduction. The total time taken for producing a particular commodity or product, they would like to minimize. Yes. So loss, number 2, cost, number 3, reduction of labor time, and somebody messaged as liability. Okay. Liability reduction also is something which definitely the companies would consider. Good. Anything else?
Sir, reduction of raw materials, sir, used for finishing product.
Reduction of raw material may not be an ideal example always, because if company wants to increase their profitability, obviously they would go for procuring more raw material. Adana wastage ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು. Wherever there is a possibility for reducing the waste, that's perfect. But raw material reduction as a whole cannot be taken as a minimization function.
Okay.
Because some industries are completely raw material intense, and they have absolutely nothing to do with, they don't have adequate raw material. Agar generalize ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗಬಹುದು. Okay. And finally, in total, taxes. Again, taxes reduction is not a very ethical approach. Companies tax reduce ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, if they are going for unethical practices or if they're changing their book of accounts, usually that is not appreciated always. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ನ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ you are definitely practicing something which is not ethical ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. Okay. So
number of defects.
Number of defects. Very good example.
And reducing idle time of machines.
Very good. Idle time of machine reduction. Very good. Fantastic. Right. I think this is the beauty of discussion, right? When you are able to discuss certain things, a lot of examples will come out, and these examples will remain in your mind forever. Right. Very good. I think now we have got enough examples to understand which are the areas where the company wants to maximize and which are the areas where company wants to minimize. I think now you have got a clarity of this. Everybody got a clarity the difference between maximum and minimum now? Everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, now with this background, let's try to understand what type of question is this. Very simple. Nimma question paper nalle athwa nimma problem nalle you have to look out for these key terms. Iduvarge navu ಏನು define madadvalla, we took so many examples, right? They are all called as key terms or keywords. We should identify whether any of these keywords are there in my question. Very simple. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಒಂದು 15 ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ವಿ ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಿನಿಮೈಸೇಷನ್. These two examples are called as keywords. Now I should locate or identify, are there any keywords in this problem present? ಯಾವ್ದಾರ keyword ಇದೆಯಾ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ? Hello? Hello, can you listen? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, I was mentioning that you are supposed to identify, are there any of the keywords that we just discussed now is present in this problem? ಯಾವ್ದಾರ keyword ಇದೆಯಾ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ?
Profit.
Yes, it is there. So the keyword which is there in this particular question is profit. So profit is a keyword. So linear programming problem alli tumba simple ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕೇನಂದ್ರೆ, whenever a question is given to you, try to identify the keyword in that particular question. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಏನೇ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. You will not definitely have anything beyond the examples which we have taken now. Definitely one of the things will be there. So as far as this question is concerned, the profit is a keyword that is there in this particular question. Now the next step in madaveko, once the keyword is identified, now I am supposed to identify whether the keyword belongs to maximization case or minimization case. Your profit is a keyword. I think everybody is clear that this is a keyword. Now profit is a maximization function or minimization function. What it is?
Maximization function.
Very good. So Alige, what is the first conclusion now? The first conclusion that I'm drawing from this particular problem is this question is a maximization case problem. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ? Did you all understood the logic how we infer or how we interpret the maximization and minimization case? Everybody is clear with this step now? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. ಇದನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೇ LPP ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ identify the keyword, and once the keyword is identified, then try to understand whether it is maximization case or minimization case. Adu first ಮಾಡಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ then we'll come back to the actual course of actions. Okay, so now we'll come back to the actual course. What is the actual course? You are supposed to clearly define 4 important components. ಯಾವುದು? The first one is the decision variable, the second one is the objective function, the third one is the constraint, and the fourth one is called as non-negative restriction. ಈ ನಾಲ್ಕನ್ನ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Okay, now let's start with the first concept which is called a decision variable. Okay, decision variable ಅಂದ್ರೆ meaning ಏನು? What is the meaning of this? ಆ word ಅಲ್ಲೇ meaning ಇದೆ. The variable which decides the fate of the problem is called a decision variable. Simple words. ಯಾವ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಆ ಇಡೀ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನ ಫೇಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇಡೀ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ದು ಕ್ರಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಆದ್ರೆ that is called a decision variable. ಈಗ ಇಡೀ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ if you just analyze the entire question, what is the one thing very clear? The company is maximize the profit. That is the objective. That is very clear. Are you all understanding? Are you all with me now? The primary objective of this particular problem is the company wants to maximize the profit. ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ without any hesitation you can come to conclusion that the objective of that particular company is to increase the profits. Our profits na ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Now let me ask you a simple question to you. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಕಂಪನಿ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದ್ರೆ, if the companies are interested or planning to increase or maximize the profit, what is that they are supposed to do? By doing what the company can increase the profit? Can anybody tell me?
Increase number of units.
Yeah, again one thing very important here, ನೀವು ಕೊಡುವಂತ ಆನ್ಸರ್ it should be within the purview of the given data. ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ಏನು assume ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. I cannot assume that increase quality, reduced production time, reduce raw material cost. No, I cannot do any such assumption. The entire analysis should be purely based on the data given. ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಡೇಟಾ ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. That is one thing you have to remember. Okay, yeah. So now my question is, if company wants to increase profit, how exactly they're going to achieve this. ಹೇಗೆ achieve ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಇದನ್ನ? Yeah, I think somebody was answering. Please go ahead.
So decreasing
Sir, in
fabrication and fin time.
No, ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ನಿಮಗೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ. It is very clearly said that for
Sir,
producing product A 9 hours is required. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. There is no scope because already the machines are being designed to produce such a. Okay, yeah.
Sir, selecting the best possible combination of model A and model B. We need to produce the best combination of units of both, so which will in turn give us more profit.
Yeah, correct. I think you have given probably a very detailed answer for it. Let me cut short. It's a very simple concept. I want everyone to please look at the board. They've given the profit value for each product. Every model of product A sold, the company gets a profit of 8,000 rupees. For every unit of product B you sell, the company gets a profit of 12,000 rupees. One unit na ನೀವು sell ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 8,000 A ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, 12,000 B ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Suppose if I'm manufacturing 2 units of A, my profit will become 16,000 and for B it will become 24,000. And what do you understand from this particular data? The number of units of model A and the number of units of model B will decide as to how much total profit you get. Am I right? Because 8,000 and 12,000 change madakagala. It is fixed, right? They are very clearly told that for every unit of A, you will only get profit of 8,000 rupees, not 1 rupee more, 1 rupee less. It's fixed already. Similarly, for B also, it is 12,000 fixed. The only thing that is there in your control, how many units you manufacture. If you 2 units are manufacture, other your total profit will increase. You all agree with my logic here? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Okay, Andre. So what do you mean by decision variables? Very simple. Decision variables are those variables which will help achieve the objective function. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, in a very, very simple way I'm defining. So decision variables are those variables which facilitates the achievement of your objective function. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ we call it as decision variable. Now can you please tell me which are the decision variables now? ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು decision variables ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇವಾಗ? Which are the decision variables now? Can you please tell me? Hello? Hello? Can anybody
So
please?
will it be number of units of A and B?
Excellent. That's it. Okay. So the number of units of A and the number of units of B are the deciding variables. So ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, very simple. There is a direct relationship between the number of units you manufacture and the total profit what you get. So how do we write now? The decision variables since we are expressing this entire problem in a mathematical equation form, we are supposed to put it in a variable form. Andre adana navu kelu algebraic terms na use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. The universally accepted algebraic form in linear programming problem are x and y. Usually x and y na ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Decision variables are represented by x precisely. Okay, so how many decision variables are there in this problem? ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? How many decision variables are there? 1 or 2? Hello? How many decision variables are there in this question?
2, sir.
2. Very good. So the first decision variables I will consider as x1. ನಾನೇನಂತ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ, since there are 2 decision variables in this problem, the first decision variable I am taking as x1 and the second decision variable I am taking as x2. First one x1 ಅಂತ ತಗೋತೀನಿ, second one x2 ಅಂತ ತಗೋತೀನಿ. The moment I have taken decision variables as x1 and x2, next ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? I am supposed to define the meaning of x1 and x2. That is very important. Now why am I supposed to define x1 and x2? Because in the entire problem the meaning of x1 and x2 will remain same. ಅದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ನಾವು ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, we are defining the meaning of x1 and x2. So how do we define? Very simple. x1 is equals to number of units of product A. So hereafter in this entire problem, wherever you say x1, the meaning of x1 is it is the number of units of product A. That is the meaning. So ella kade ide meaning convey agade. Similarly, what is the meaning of x2 now? Number of units of product B ಅಥವಾ model B. Or any question paper kottidare, the same thing can be used, nothing to worry. Okay, so x1 is nothing but number of units of product A, and x2 is equals to number of units of product B. Has everybody understood this step, how to write decision variable? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the first step. So this is the first step is completed. The first step is very simple. You are supposed to identify decision variable. Correct gap ಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Decision variable ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮಿನಿಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾದ್ರೆ then identifying the decision variable becomes very simple. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ I took it in that logic way so that you can easily able to relate. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ first step is completed. Now we'll come to step number 2. What is step number 2? The step number 2 is nothing but objective function. You are supposed to define objective function. This is exactly where your maximization and minimization comes into picture. ಈಗ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮಿನಿಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್? What type of question is this?
Maximization.
So ಇಲ್ಲಿ we use two different types of terms here. Suppose if the problem is maximization case, then I represent it by a word max. Max ಅಂತ represent ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ the question is minimization ಆದ್ರೆ then we represent the problem by min. These are the only two varieties. ಇಡೀ linear programming problem ಅಲ್ಲಿ the objective function can be only of two varieties. Either it can be a maximization problem or it can be a minimization problem. There is no third variety at all. ಇದು correct ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Since the keyword in this problem is profit, obviously it becomes a maximization problem. Now ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ the function is always represented by an alphabet ಅಥವಾ an algebraic term. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ universally the objective function is always represented by the word letter z. ಯಾವ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, z is always an objective function variable. ಅದು ಮಿನಿಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲಿ z is a common word. Maximization problem ಆದ್ರೆ we call it as max z. Minimization problem andre we call it as min z. That is the only difference. Okay, so always remember z is always a function of objective, and if it is maximization we call it as max z. If it is minimization andre min z anta barutte. Now since it is a maximization function, max z is equals to, ಈಗ ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು equation ಬರಿಬೇಕು. How do we write the objective function equation? Very simple. Objective function equations ಗೆ ನೀವು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. Okay, I'm repeating it again. You are supposed to formulate an objective function in such a way that when you substitute the values of the objective function, you should get the final answer. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಫೈನಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನಾನು ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ? Can anybody tell me what is the final answer I'm expecting from this problem? Hello? Hello? What is the final answer I'm expecting here?
The optimum number units of A and B, sir.
No. I am expecting the final answer of total profit. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ objective ಏನು? Maximizing the profit ತಾನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ first I want to understand what is the total profit the company is getting. ಅದು ನಾನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕು. So when I'm writing the objective function should be written in such a way that that equation should give me the total profit of this particular company. ಈಗ total profit ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕು ನಾನು. ಈಗ total profit ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ how do I write the equation? Very simple. Please go back to your data. We know that there are basically two types of products. A ಇದೆ, B ಇದೆ. A I have defined as x1 and B I have defined as x2. The number of units of A you manufacture is called as x1 and number of units of B you manufacture is called as x2. ಈಗ total profit ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ what is the simple equation? Number of units into the profit value. Am I right? ಹೇಗೆ total profit calculate ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನ if you multiply with the total number of units you manufactured, obviously you get the total profit. So the objective function can be written, or the equation can be written as ಏನಂತ ಬರೀತೀವಿ, 8000 x1 plus 12,000 x2. So this is the equation which is called as objective function. Can anybody please tell me what is the meaning of this equation now? Maximum z equals to 8000 x1 plus 12,000 x2. Final ನಾನು ಏನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, how many units of A I have manufactured and how many units of B I have manufactured. ಆ values ನ ಈ equation substitute ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ I will get what is the total profit. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ? So objective function is basically an equation which will help me identify the final outcome of the problem. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫೈನಲ್ ಔಟ್ಕಮ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈ equation ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Have you all understood the meaning or the logic of this particular equation? Everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is x1 is nothing but number of units of A and x2 is nothing but number of units of B. When I multiply with the profit value, obviously you'll get the total profit. And again, we have come finished with the second step, which is called as objective function. Now we'll come to the third step. So what is the third step here? The third step is called as constraints. Constraints. Okay, constraints. The simple English meaning or the word constraints is nothing but the limitations or backdrops. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮೊಂದು simple logical question ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. Okay, I think that will help you understand these constraints here. We all know that the company wants to increase the total profit. That is undoubted. ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಕಂಪನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. If company wants to make maximum profit, we know that they should produce more number of A and more number of B. Am I right? You all agree with me? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you are able to increase the number of units of A and B, obviously your profits also will increase. Other one problem is there. One problem is there. Just because I want to increase more number of A and B, I'll not be able to do that. ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ? Please look at your table. Because they have given very clearly that the total fabrication time available to you is only 180 hours. And the total finishing time is available is only 30 hours. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಏನೇ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ within 180 hours ಒಳಗಡೆ my entire fabrication work should be completed. Within 30 hours, all my finishing work should be completed. So beyond 180 hours, even though I am willing to do it, I cannot do because there is a constraint, there is a limitation, there is a restriction, there is a pitfall or there is a backdrop. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Constraints are those limitations which are stopping you to reach your objective. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ನ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಎನ್ಹಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಚೆಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕರ್ ನ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Now, as far as this question is concerned, there are two types of constraints here. So which are the two constraints here? Can anybody please tell me now? ಯಾವುದು two constraints ಇದೆ? The first constraint is the fabrication time and the second constraint is finishing time. Suppose if the company say ನೀವು ಫ್ಯಾಬ್ರಿಕೇಶನ್ ಗೆ ಫಿನಿಶಿಂಗ್ ಗೆ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಫ್ಯಾಬ್ರಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಫಿನಿಶಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the company can do it 24/7 and they can make millions and millions of dollars, which is not practically possible here because there is a condition called the maximum time. So 180 hours of fabrication and 30 hours of finishing bit 2. Beyond that, you cannot think of doing anything. Okay, you all understand this concept here? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So ಈ particular aspect na now equation form ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. Now whatever we have understood verbally, we should express the same thing in the equation form. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು third step ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. That is constraint. Okay, how do I write the equation now? I want everyone to please look at the board. If you look at this data, it's very clear that fabrication is one concept and the finishing is the other constraint. For every product of A, 9 hours of fabrication is required. For every product of B, 12 hours of fabrication is required. But totally, I have only 180 hours of fabrication time. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಹೇಗೆ ಬರೀತೀನಿ ನಾನು? ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಬೋರ್ಡ್. 9x1 plus 12x2 is less than or equal to 180. Now I want everyone to please explain what exactly the meaning of this equation is. 9x1. Now you can see that x1 is nothing but the number of units of A. Idi problem alli the meaning of x1 is the number of units. Prati unit na manufacture madlikke 9 hours time ಬೇಕು. So 9 hours into number of units plus 12 hours into number of units of B. This total time should be less than or equal to 180 hours. Now this less than or equal to ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ? We call it as inequality. All linear programming problem ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡೇ ತರ inequality ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಾವು. One is less than or equal to and the other one is greater than or equal to. These are the only two types of inequality we use. Now can anybody please tell me why have I used less than or equal to? ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ? Can anybody tell me why?
It can't be more than 180 hours. No, sir.
Very good. The
Maximum.
simple less than or equal to very clearly indicates that either it can be equal to 180 hours or it can be less than 180, but I cannot go beyond 180 because that is the maximum availability. ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ 180 hours fabrication ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ even 1 minute extra I cannot work. Okay, and therefore I should write it as 9x1 plus 12x2 less than or equal to 180. Within 180 I have to complete this. That is a constraint or that is a limitation. Now can anybody please tell me on a similar line the equation for the second one now? ಈಗ finishing ಗೆ equation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. Can you please tell me the equation for finishing on the same lines? Hello? Can you please tell me the equation for the second one? Now for
So
the
1x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to
Less
30.
than or equal to 30.
1x1 plus 3x2 is less than or equal to 30. That's it. Very simple question. Okay. So there are only two constraints in this particular problem. The first constraint is with respect to fabrication and the second constraint is with respect to finishing. Alige, we have finished with the third step. Okay. Is everybody clear with the third step? Any doubts, any questions? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Now we'll come to the last step. The last step is called as NNR. NNR andre enandre non-negative restrictions. It's a dummy step. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಬರೆಯೋದು. ಏನ್ ನಾನ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ನಾನ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಅಂತ. ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್. ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ LPP ನಲ್ಲಿ the final answers ಅಥವಾ whatever results you get or variables you get, it cannot be negative. So if I say you manufacture minus 10 units of A and minus 20 units of B, does it make any sense? Can you manufacture minus units of some product? No, right? Madak sadhyane illa, right? All numerical values, particularly variables, have to be positive here. Because we are taking a count. So negative count barlik sadhya illa. Hagagi a non-negative restriction is a dummy step where we are declaring that all the variables considered in this particular problem is always positive. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು variables ನಾವು consider ಮಾಡಿದಿವಿ? Only two variables. Which are the two variables? The first variable is x1 and the second variable is x2. So we are declaring that the two variables x1 and x2 is positive. ಅದನ್ನ declare ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು fourth step ಅಲ್ಲಿ non-negative restrictions ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So when I'm saying x1 and x2 variable is positive, I'm supposed to express that also in mathematical form. Adin hege express ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ like this. x1 is greater than or equal to 0 and x2 is greater than or equal to 0. Anything which is greater than or equal to 0 implies it is positive. Okay? ಇದು dummy step. ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ನೀವು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಅಂತ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. That's all. Otherwise, this particular step has no much significance. It is just saying that all the variables are positive, which we have considered in this particular problem. So this completes the 4 stages or 4 levels of linear programming problem. A very, very simple question. If you do problem and you once a logic artha aitu andre, I think within 2 minutes you can solve the problem. So the first step is decision variable. The second step is objective function. The third step is constraint, and the fourth step is called as non-negative restriction. ಈ 4 ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬರೆದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ mathematical form anta bariyಬೇಕು. I'm supposed to write what? Mathematical form. Okay, mathematical form ಹೇಗೆ ಬರೆಯೋದು? Very simple. Whenever I'm writing a mathematical form, the first always you should start with the objective function. Objective function ಇಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So what is objective function? Max z is equals to 8,000 x1, okay, plus 12,000 x2. So this is your objective function. Okay, adadmele I'm supposed to use a word called subject to. Andre this objective is subject to following conditions. So what are the following conditions? These two are the following conditions. Idana achieve madidre matra nan idana achieve madakagutte. My objective is completely depending on these two factors. Adana baribeku next line. Which are the two conditions here? 9x1 plus 12x2 less than or equal to 180, and second equation is 1x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 30. Okay, and finally and use ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, and I should write NNR value. Which are the NNR value? x1 comma x2 is greater than or equal to 0. So this completes the problem. So once all the four steps are written, you are supposed to sum up the whole problem by writing the mathematical form. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ಈಗ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್. ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನ ನಾವು ಗ್ರಾಫಿಕಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ? ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಂಟು ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್. ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ನ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಈಗ ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ನ ಐದರ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರಾಫಿಕಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಆರ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲೇಟ್ LPP. So example ನಿಮಗೆ formulate LPP ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ your answer ends here. This is formulation part, and I'm just converting into equations. So once the equation is ready, then it can be further solved by graphical method or simplex. Okay, has everybody understood this problem now? Clear ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is exactly what this particular question is. So this completes the first problem. I've just given an overview of it. So next class alli bere problems alla tagolona. I've gone very slow in detail because once you have understood the basic logic here, next problem alla within 2 minutes we can solve. Okay, like namge first nimge ella artha agbeku what exactly these concepts are all about. If you have understood that, then remaining things becomes very simple. Okay, I think we can stop the class at this stage. It's almost 12 o'clock now, and we will continue the problems, other problems in the next class. Okay, so once new problems now odi onsala, anyway questions are there. I think you'll have a fair idea how to solve the problem. Try madi tondre illa, but anyway I'm going to do all the 10 problems in the class, nothing to worry. So we'll stop at this class. Okay, any questions or doubts with this question? Anybody?
Sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's the case, then we can end the class for the day, and the next class will continue with the remaining problems. Okay, thank you all. Yeah.